So in this video I'm going to be talking about the book Crazy is My Superpower by AJ Mendez Brooks, better known of course as AJ Lee, formerly of the WWE. It is 14 chapters in this book spanning from her younger years growing up in a financially struggling family as a kid to her time in the WWE. And there are, to give you just a quick overview of the format of the book, there are like these kind of cartoon pictures at the start of each chapter that are kind of relevant to the chapter in question. There's one there. Also get these kind of black and white pictures if I can find one. There's one there. Scattered throughout the book as well. And then in the middle of the book you've got a few pages of colour pictures. So like that in the middle is about 6 pages maybe of those. Also got these kind of separate section of the book which is called Diary of an Unfit Mind. If I can pick out, here's what I'm talking about, pick out a section like that kind of break up the action, that are kind of like essays and a series of like lists and essays about various topics like advice to a future child, that kind of thing, things that make me irrationally scared. You can see there. I believe these are kind of loosely based on some exercises that she used to do in therapy back in her earlier years, so they kind of break it up a little bit, and they're pretty interesting to read. So that's the format of the thing. Yeah. Throughout the book, she's very honest about her family's money troubles as she grew up, which pretty much resulted in her being kind of shifted from pillar to post with her family. Back when she was younger, they never really had a permanent home. They were kind of constantly moving, never really had a place to call their own. And it's always engaging and interesting to read about her struggles there. A very unorthodox upbringing, so it certainly makes for a page turner of a book. So yeah, it's obviously it was a harsh upbringing for her, but it makes for a good read looking back on it now. She also talks very openly about both her own and her mother's struggle with mental illness, bipolar disorder / depression. Goes into a lot of detail about that, which I'm sure will be inspiring for people that might be struggling with the same thing. So that's definitely makes for a interesting read there as well. So that's certainly a good aspect of the book, especially for those that could be dealing with those issues. It's all written by herself, I believe. I don't think there was a ghostwriter involved whatsoever, so we've got to give her credit for that. So extra points there. And for the most part, it's very well written as well. So all good there. She's quite witty and funny at times, and comes across as quite a quirky character. At around 267 pages, it is fairly short. Only the last 100 pages or so actually cover her time in the wrestling industry, so that's a little bit disappointing. It doesn't go into a bit more detail about her time in the WWE. For example, it doesn't really go into that much detail about things like her time on NXT. I mean, it does mention it, but not hugely, so I would have liked a bit more detail there when she was on, I believe, the 3rd season of NXT, when it was kind of more like a competition-based show. Doesn't really talk much about her when she was a babyface prior to doing the kind of dark, crazy character, when she was wearing like the plaid outfits. Again, it does briefly touch on it, but it doesn't really go into an awful lot of detail. It doesn't really mention much about her last few months in the company either, just prior to her departure. And it doesn't really touch on her second WrestleMania match either. So those are just a few things that I would like to have seen it expanded on, to go into a bit more depth. I mean, what is there is very good, especially the stuff about her life before wrestling is really good. It's really interesting to read. But actually, that is the best part of the book, I would say. So what is there certainly is very good, but it would have been perhaps better if it had been extended slightly by, say, maybe 30 pages, just to go into a bit more depth about the wrestling aspect of things, which is probably why most people have picked the book up in the first place, I guess. So yeah, it could have been maybe perhaps a bit better if it had been expanded slightly, but I must stress though that what is there is very good, and it's always interesting to read. Yeah, in fact, the stuff about her time prior to the wrestling business is actually excellent, and is really well written, and is really probably inspiring for people that are going through similar issues with the mental illness. So definitely recommend it for anyone that could be struggling with depression and that kind of thing, and is kind of worried that it's going to have like a big effect on their life and then not to be able to achieve their dreams. She certainly inspires in that regard. Towards the end, it does come across as a bit preachy, and like she's kind of pushing a bit of a feminist agenda, but that didn't really bother me. But I could see that maybe bothering some males that could read the book, but that's only a small thing. It's not really that much of a problem, but just sort of throw it out there. But overall, they were very good and highly recommended books. Certainly one of the better, if not the best, autobiographies that I've read of from the wrestling world. Definitely recommend it if you can. If you're at all interested, then by all means pick it up. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.